The man was so lucky to have found a huge piece of gold in the desert. He looked at Big Fat in the distance, hesitated, and then called him over. Big Fat took out his fire engine and burnt it to make sure the gold was real. The two men looked at each other in surprise, and then they began to dig. But after digging for a long time, they realized that the gold was bigger than they thought. They tried to carry the gold out with their hands, but they were not strong enough. They tried to pull it out with a car, but the rope was broken and the gold remained untouched. The angry Dajiang had no choice but to keep digging. Time passed, the sun was about to set and still no gold had been dug up. Big Fat asked the men to go with him to collect branches. If they did not build a fire before dark, they would be attacked by wild dogs. The two men then set firewood on fire and then fantasized about the days when they would be rich, and they laughed out loud with joy. But the two men also had to face the reality that water and food were running low. One of them had to go out to find supplies and a digger, while the other stood guard to keep the gold safe. At this point, a disagreement arose between the two men. Big Fat felt he had the ability to survive in the wilderness and wanted the man to drive to the digger, but the man felt that he had found the gold and he had to stay behind to guard it. Big Fat feels that the man does not trust him. The next day, Big Fat left enough food and water for the man and gave him a satellite phone, telling him that he must keep an eye on the gold. When his companions had left, the man first reburied the gold. Then the user made a simple shade shelter. In the hot sun, although it was very difficult for the man, he looked at the gold not far away and was still excited. But after yesterday's disagreement and argument, Big Fatty already knew what the man was thinking. In the face of the great temptation of the gold, will he keep his promise?